I hurriedly dodged and almost froze my feet off. It turns out that this javelin is made of frosted elements. Bai Ling flashed in front of me, revealing his sharp fangs. Bai Ling, I'll handle it. Bai Ling nodded obediently and stepped aside. Seeing that the attack missed, the centaur beast once again condensed a water blue javelin in its white little hands. I climbed onto the horse and rode directly on the back of the centaur. I put my arms around the centaur's waist and felt a warm touch. I couldn't help but hug it tighter. Oh my god. The king forced himself on me. The centaur was furious and the 4 horses galloped forward. The strong horse wanted to throw me to the ground. Will the mare obey me? The centaur was furious. The strong horse jumped more than 3 meters high, but it couldn't throw me off. The centaur took me for a while and ran and jumped wildly, stabbing the back with the ice javelin in its hand. The excited little mare dared to be angry with me. After saying that, the thunder in my palm instantly transformed into a long thunder whip. This is my new skill, the thunder whip. Will you let me ride it? Will you let me ride it? The centaur trembled all over, and a hint of fear appeared in its eyes, nodding hurriedly. That's right. After that, I took out a set of horse gear from the space temple. What a pretty little mare! The centaurs are side and galloped. I rode my docile mare and galloped back and forth, knocking down several blind zombies in succession. Oh. I rode my centaur to Wang Hao and dismounted. Then he took out a large red bottle from the space temple and placed it in front of Centaur. Centaur was shocked when he saw this. This is a fresh apple. I haven't seen a fresh apple for a long time. The centaur swallowed hard, but resisted the urge for the apple. It looked at me timidly. Don't be afraid. Let me ride you from now on. Hearing this, the centaur slowly stretched out its little hand and grabbed the apple back. Then it started to eat it in big mouthfuls. In terms of intelligence, it is still a horse. One apple almost took care of it. The ice-type centaur is rare and only level 4. The talent is at least addictive. You go and play for a while, but you have to come over when I blow the whistle. Or I'll whip you. Do you understand? Go ahead. Weatherfan finally conquered the hot little mare, but now he lets her go. What if he doesn't come back? The mare will definitely come back. Because she likes me to spank her buttocks with electricity. Lightning is still the most reliable. We came to the bushes by Zhuanwu Lake. The surface of Zhuanwu Lake is vast and boundless, covered with lotus leaves as big as the mouth of a water tank. The surface of the water is very calm. Under the water, however, there are undercurrents. From time to time, a few hideous black shadows pass by, making appropriate low roars. Bai Ling's hair stood up, and I tried to calm her down. At this moment, many toads were crouching on the ripples on the water, quietly waiting for mosquitoes to take the bait. Brother Fan. Don't underestimate these poison dart frogs. Why? Look. At this moment, a mosquito flew to the lake to drink water. A poison dart frog suddenly opened its mouth. A mouthful of thick phlegm sprayed out like water. The old phlegm instantly wrapped the mosquito 3 meters away and knocked it off the water. The mosquitoes struggled hard. The old phlegm instantly solidified into crystals, as hard as steel. The poison dart frog extended its tongue, swallowed the mosquito that was eating the paralyzed old man in one gulp. The poison dart frog dares to eat the old phlegm it spits out. Do you dare? Then I really don't dare. But how do we collect the saliva of these poison dart frogs? I was about to speak when I heard a sound from the bushes next to me. I was moved and quickly crawled through the dense grass to see 3 men harassing people at the lakeside. There were several iron cages at their feet with several poison dart frogs in them. It turned out that they were also here to catch poison dart frogs. You to come catch frogs too. Yes, I heard that the saliva of poison dart frogs is quite valuable. It is valuable, but it is even more valuable on the black market. But poison dart frogs are not that easy to catch. See, the 3 of us were busy for most of the day. If Chen Guo hadn't led us, we wouldn't have been able to catch even one. Chen Guo, holding the harpoon, turned his head away from me and Wang Hao. His eyes lingered on Bai Ling for a moment, then he turned around and continued to catch poison dart frogs. Then he would have killed them with a harpoon. The harpoon is not for poison dart frogs, but for other things in the lake. Fan and his team were so professionally equipped, but they only caught 6.5 a day. We don't have anything here. Who said we need to catch poison dart frogs to collect their venom? What do you mean by not catching them? Let me see how you do it, Brother Fan. I looked around while saying this. Confirmed that the dense grass blocked the sight of Chen Guo and the other 2. I waved my hands and a few more things appeared on the ground. Tempered glass, transparent tape, transparent box, remote control boat. The remote control boat was seized from Liu Qiangxi. I first caught a mosquito. Then I put the mosquitoes into a transparent box and then put the transparent box on the boat. Finally, I put the remote control boat into Zhuanwu Lake. The remote control boat was controlled by the handle switch and slowly sailed towards the poison dart frog group. The mosquito flapped its wings in the transparent box and struggled hard, but it could not escape. At this time, the poison dart frogs around saw the mosquitoes, and their eyes suddenly lit up. In less than 2 minutes, the entire tempered glass was sprayed with poison dart frog saliva, and a layer of solid crystals solidified on it. At this time, I controlled the remote control boat to turn around and use the other side of the tempered glass to withstand the poison dart frog's saliva. Today, we are talking about spitting on a straw boat. 3 minutes later, the entire tempered glass was covered with arrow frog saliva, which condensed into 2 thick layers of crystals. I controlled the remote control boat to return to the shore. Wen Hao took off the tempered glass, then replaced it with a new tempered glass. After repeating this operation, Wang Hao and I collected more than a dozen pieces of crystal tempered glass. Wang Hao punched a piece of crystal glass. The glass made a clanging sound and was very strong. It is indeed a top-quality material. Chen Guo and others also noticed our situation. These 2 little guys are good at taking advantage of others. I calculated that they had obtained 18 pieces of saliva crystals, which could be exchanged for 3 bags of rice on the black market. Chen Guo said while holding the fish intestines. Stupid, you only know about poison dart frog saliva. HMM, what do you mean? Don't you see that white cat has shiny fur and looks majestic? When he stood by the lake, the dirty things in the water didn't dare to get close to him. If you can get the white cat, it will be worth at least 100 saliva crystals. Yes, her. So you've already planned it. In the blink of an eye, it is already new. Brother Hao, let's eat first. The 2 came to the shade of the big willow trees by the lake and sat cross-legged to prepare for dinner. What do you want to eat? Let's have some whole grain bread. Okay, I took out 2 baguettes, a bucket of sauce, and 2 bottles of purified water from my pocket. Eating baguettes while spreading sauce. At this time, Chen Guo and his 3 companions came over. Let's have a meal here too. You don't mind, do you? I don't mind. It's just for fun. Chen Guo and the other 2 sat next to each other and took out the food from their bags. A few crumpled slices of bread, a few sausages. 2 little brothers, look at what you Ray eating. Dry bread with soybean paste. We are so sick of eating too much fish and meat. Let's eat some coarse grains to adjust the diet. Ha ha ha. Fish and meat. This guy can even brag. Don't be so stubborn and suffering. Here are 2 sausages for you. Just consider it is fate for us to make frogs together. It's not that we really don't want to eat sausages. Don't want to eat. I'm afraid you're all crying with envy. How can you afford sausage in this world? Still pretending. I added anesthetic, as long as the 2 of you eat the sausage. Then the 3 of us can steal the white cat and the crystal glass. In the end times, when food is extremely scarce, you can eat this bread and ham in 1 bite, and you can dip it in sauce without feeling choked. Young people, you still have a long way to go. Don't pretend. Eat soybean paste. Eat soybean paste. Caviar. These 2 people are eating caviar. A big can of it. Caviar is eaten directly with bread. You will not be punished by God. Bread is eaten with caviar. This joke is quite funny. It's really caviar. It's high-quality sturgeon caviar. The bread and ham in my hands suddenly lost their fragrance. Now the 3 of them understand that Wen Hao and I really don't want to eat sausages. Compared to sturgeon caviar, this starch sausage is just a piece of shit. The 3 of them came back to their senses from the shock and quickly exchanged glances. It seems that these 2 people will not eat ham sausage. That can't be wasted. There is a lot of anesthetics in it, but you can give it to the white cat. It won't make the person crazy, but it will make the white cat crazy. Don't waste it. Just give it to the cat. This sausage was made with great effort by the 3 of us from the black market. Now this sausage is going to be ruined by a cat. At this time, Bai Ling saw the middle-aged man put something in front of her and lowered her head to smell it. He slapped the sausage away with 1 palm. The 3 people couldn't sit still. They didn't even eat cats. Just kill them. I can't act anymore. Then let me write a tragic ending for you. I've seen that these 3 people have bad intentions. From the way Chen Guo looked at Bai Ling at the beginning to the intentional or unintentional probing of the middle-aged man, Chen Guo and another middle-aged man hurriedly retreated. They didn't expect that I could be so ruthless at such a young age. He killed her right away. What surprised them even more was Bai Ling. But Bai Ling didn't give them time to think and turned into a phantom and rushed towards the 2 of them. Chen Guo waved the harpoon in his hand. A blue water arrow suddenly pierced Bai Ling's eyebrows. Bai Ling's body instantly split into 3. The middle-aged man hurriedly opened his mouth and sucked hard. The surrounding air was instantly sucked into his stomach. His stomach was bulging high like a 10-month pregnancy. The next moment, he opened his mouth and sprayed out purple poisonous mist, instantly enveloped all 3 white phosphorus. The surrounding air was corroded instantly and sizzled. At this moment, Bai Ling instantly rushed out of the purple mist. The protective shield covered Bai Ling. The middle-aged man was shocked and wanted to escape, but it was too late. Bai Ling tore his throat, and he fell to the ground in fear. The remaining man felt a jolt in his heart. It seems that he has run into a tough guy today. Both middle-aged men are dead. He can't be buried with them, so the best thing to do is to run away. He turned around and ran towards Zhuanwu Lake. Wen Hao and Bai Ling chased after him. At this time, Chen Guo had already run to the edge of Zhuanwu Lake, but he did not stop and stepped directly onto Zhuanwu Lake. At the same time, aqua blue ripples appeared on his soles. He could actually walk on the lake, startling the poison dart frogs around him and jumping into the water. He could actually run on the water. The Water Awakener is indeed quite interesting. Gur, who had already run 30 meters away, slowed down and turned his head to react to us. He paused and arrogantly raised his middle finger. Damn, this guy is too arrogant. Bai Ling was also indignant and wanted to tear Gur apart with one claw. But I burst out laughing, put my fingers in my mouth, and whistled loudly. Just then, a contemptuous sound of horse hooves sounded. The scent or galloped towards me. The filly is really back. I waved my finger at Chen State in the center of Zhuanwu Lake, and then made a gesture of wiping my neck. The centaur threw out the ice javelin, which fell to the ground like a meteor suddenly pierced Chen Gu's back. Chen Gur spit out a mouthful of bright red blood and turned his head in horror. The whole body was instantly frozen into an ice sculpture, lifelike. The ice sculpture slowly sank into the lake. Well done! The master really loves you for real. I took Wang Hao to the place where Chen Gur and his 3 companions had just caught poison dart frogs. There were several iron cages and a backpack on the ground. Thanks for their hard work. Take these frogs back to the villa halfway up the mountain. The crystal glass can be repaired later. A poison dart frog was immediately enraged, opened its mouth and spit at me. Saliva stuck to the iron cage and crystallized instantly. Brother Hao, stop playing and see what's in the backpack. Was Hao agreed and squatted on the ground to start looking through the backpacks of Chen Gur and the others. Have a bottle of pure water, 3 slices of bread, 2 sausages, and a car key. And a leaflet. Brother Fan, look quickly. This is actually a leaflet for a black market auction. I took the leaflet and looked at it carefully. It listed the some items to be auctioned. Like the fangs of a mutant long-mouthed crocodile, the venom of a black-tailed scorpion, body system awakening crystal, white iron sword energy crystal, drug lord feathers, iron heads, pangolin scales, etc. These are extraordinary materials taken from mutant creatures. But I don't need these things for the time being. I continued to look down, and it turned out to be a healing awakening crystal. That is the most popular superpower in the apocalypse. Who doesn't have headaches, fevers, illnesses, and disasters? What's more, the medical and health conditions in the apocalypse are basically 0. It's hard to even find cold medicines and antibiotics. In this way, the healing practitioner has become the well-deserved superpower doctor in the apocalypse. High-level healing practitioners can not only treat external injuries, but can even regenerate severed limbs and cure many so-called terminal illnesses. If we bring a healing awakener, the chance of survival will increase several times. My eyes were glazed. I must get this healing awakening sutra. This way, we can add a super doctor to the villa on the hillside. I continued to look at the auction address and time on the flyer. This black market is located at No. 101, Yangqing Street, Baigu District, Chang'an City, Tianjin Bodyguard Company. It turns out that it was a bodyguard company before the end of the world. No wonder it dared to hold a black market after the end of the world. It must have a certain background and strength. I secretly thought that it seemed that I had to go there at that time. I put away the flyer and picked up the car keys on the ground. Then he handed the remote control boat's control handle to Wang Hao. Brother Hao, you operate first. I'll go make some preparations. Bai Ling, let's have a competition to see who's faster. Wang Hao squatted on the bank and watched me riding my filly on the road. He was so envious. When can I have a pretty filly? Then I can ride during the day whenever I want. I rode my own filly. I circled Zhuanwu Lake. Finally, I found a simply modified off-road vehicle in the dense woods. I got off the horse, came to the off-road vehicle, took out the key, and pressed the switch. It was indeed the car of Chen Gur and his 3 companions. I got in and tested the car briefly. The car was in good condition. There was still 2/3 of the fuel in the tank. Then I put the car into the space. Since we are going to the black market, we can't drive a heavy truck. When we get back to the villa, let Wang Hao modify this off-road vehicle so that we can drive it to the black market. I wouldn't feel bad if it was stolen. Get on the horse and return the same way. At this moment, the sun is setting and night is about to fall. Hao was squatting by the Zhuanwu Lake, controlling the remote control boat. Over the past half day, more than 30 pieces of crystal glass have been collected. But we still need to stock up on some crystal glasses to facilitate subsequent replacement of damaged ones. Suddenly, the remote-controlled boat in Zhuanwu Lake moved suddenly, and a splash of water appeared around. Wang Hao's heart moved, and he looked hurriedly. I saw a ferocious black shadow hovering under the water around the remote-control boat at a very fast speed. Hao frowned. Take a closer look. The water is calm. The shadow disappeared again. What the hell is going on? Is it because I am dazzled? Hao scratched his head and squatted on the shore to continue to control the remote control boat. He looked up and saw a black tentacle as thick as a bowl. This tentacle was pitched black on the outside and red on the bottom, and had a lot of suction cups. What is this? Hao was still in shock and retreated in a hurry, breathing heavily. Just now, I was almost swallowed by this thing. At this moment, the sun was setting. A large shadow covered Zhuanwu Lake. Several large bubbles emerged from the surface of Zhuanwu Lake. A black round head slowly emerged from the lake. A level 5 mutant black water monster crawled out of Zhuanwu Lake. Earth binding. Damn, is he going to die just like that? Is Hao brother okay? I am fine, brother fan. Level 5 water monster. This thing came out of the lake. Yes, I was just collecting poison dart frog saliva by the lake. This water monster attacked me. Catch it alive. Understood. The struggling black water monster suddenly froze. The electric shock paralyzed him, and he couldn't move. But don't kill it. The black monster was instantly frozen into an ice sculpture, lifelike and vivid. How long can this frozen state last? Enough! I will first put more than 30 pieces of crystal glass into the space temple. Then I took out the heavy truck from the space temple. Brother Hao, pack up and let's go home. Hao agreed. Put the iron cage with poison dart frogs into the car. Then work together with me. Move the black water monster frozen into the car. Fortunately, the heavy truck compartment is large enough. Otherwise, the ordinary car still can't fit. The little centaur is going home. Hao stepped on the accelerator and the heavy truck drove out. Night fell quietly. The heavy truck drove on the quiet street. There are commercial corridors on both sides of the street. The zombies on the street chased the heavy truck, but were soon left far behind. Brother fan, there are 2 roads at the intersection. One is to take the highway directly up the mountain, and the other is not to go up the mountain. Which road should we take? Yongxing Street. By who district? Yongxing Street. Yes, that's where the black market is. Let's go directly to the highway. Be safe. After the street ahead, turn right, and you can get on the highway directly. At this moment, a steel beam suddenly fell from the upper floor of a shop 100 meters ahead. The steel beam swung a few times like a swing. It blocked the street exit directly. What happened? At this time, the windows of the buildings on both sides were open and many people stuck their heads out. Almost all of them were elderly. Hey, passers-by, hand in your supplies quickly. Was how and I got off the car to check the situation. These people actually set up a checkpoint here to block the road and collect supplies. If Brother Fan doesn't get on the highway from here, it will take at least half an hour. Hurry up and get the supplies out. That's right. Do you have any sense of public morality? Watching us starve? You conscienceless bastards. You deserve it. These days, there are still people who play the game of moral blackmail. You like playing the game of moral blackmail, don't you? Brother How, let's eat something before we continue our journey. Hey, okay. I took out a large box of premium sushi and put it on the front of the car. I was afraid that the people above couldn't see clearly, so I directly set up a strong light. Brother Wang Hao and I stood on both sides of the front of the car eating delicious sushi. Hub. The eel meat is delicate and tender. When mixed with the fragrant rice, it immediately makes your mouth fragrant and has an endless aftertaste. Wow, the plump and juicy fish roe burst on my tongue, and the taste of the ocean swept through my mouth like waves. Watching Wang Hao and I eat high-quality sushi and loudly share the taste of sushi, they were immediately drooling with greed and furious. The food show has started. Hurry up and throw the sushi to the old men and women. We are old people. You don't even understand the principle of being humble to the elderly. I have no manners. Yes, you have merits, so go and enjoy them. We have sushi, so we eat sushi. The people upstairs were so angry that their faces turned red and their necks thickened. Some people just picked up the bottles at hand and smashed them down. Smash you uneducated bastards to death. It's ridiculous. It's the end of the world, and they are still playing moral kidnapping here. If you want to eat, go and find someone who is spoiling you. After saying that, my palms suddenly thundered and I punched the steel beam in front of me. The old people who were making noises above were stunned. There was no food, but there were a few coffin boards leaving it for you to eat and wait for death. Well, How and I got in the car and left, leaving two broken coffins at the site. The old people were stunned and looked ashen. Soon we arrived at the gate of the villa halfway up the mountain. I pressed the door control switch, and the big iron gate opened to both sides. Was How stepped on the accelerator, and the heavy truck rushed into the compound. Xiao Shuang and Fatty are already waiting at the door of the building. Master, you are back. Dinner is ready. At this time, the centaur has got off the heavy truck and walked over. What a hot horse! Fatty's eyes are as big as light bulbs. Where are Brother Fan's men kept? Horses can sleep standing up. Tomorrow, we'll convert the extra garage into a special stable for the mare. Brother How and I are together. Okay, well, How and I moved the water monster to the edge of the pond. At this moment, the neighbor Wang, who broke through level 5, has a pile of bones next to him. Lao Wang brought you a friend this time. Friends. Could it be the centaur next to him? He has a hot body. The master really knows my taste. I kicked him. Lao Wang next door was startled and hurriedly stepped back, his eyes fixed on the ice sculpture in front of him. He sensed a dangerous aura. The mayor thawed the ice sculpture. The centaur stretched out its little hand and blew out cold air, covering the ice sculpture. The ice sculpture cracked and suddenly exposed the ferocious and invincible water monster. Lao Wang, only one of you two can survive tonight. After that, I turned around and left with the centaur. That water monster is a tough guy. What if Lao Wang next door can't handle it? It's very simple. Whoever survives is Lao Wang next door. This is the training mode of the sacrifice flow. Xiao Shuang nodded and led Centaur into the building. Fatty immediately followed Centaur with a sly look, his two little eyes staring straight. Was how took the iron cage containing the poisoned dart frogs out of the car? Where should Brother Fan put these poisoned dart frogs? Tomorrow, dig a small pond in the greenhouse and put these poisoned dart frogs in it. They can eat pests and mosquitoes. Was how agreed, moved a few poisoned dart frogs into the vegetable greenhouse. It seems that we will have to make a small upgrade with the villa in the middle of the mountain tomorrow. After finishing, Wang Hao parked the heavy truck in the garage. Several people went upstairs to have dinner. I first went into the bedroom on the first floor and fed the mare an apple and a pear. Then I came to the living room on the second floor and let me see what delicious food the maid had made. After eating and drinking, I returned to the bedroom and picked up the iron cage that held the bat. This bat huddled in a corner and seemed to be afraid of me. I used my fingers to tease him. He hid his head in his meat chamber and was trembling with fear. No, this little thing is obviously very ferocious. Why are you so scared of me all of a sudden? I thought about it for a moment. Is it because of it? I pointed the bloodline seal on my palm at the bat. The bat immediately prostrated itself on the ground, as if it was worshipping me, trembling all over. It seems that this curse is quite powerful. Sleep. I fell asleep and slept until dawn. After breakfast, I started to divide the work among everyone. Today, I will upgrade the villa in the middle of the mountain for the second time. Brother Hao, you are responsible for moving the glass of the entire building. I've already placed the crystal glass in the lobby on the first floor. No problem, Brother Fan. Leave it to me. Fatty, go call King Kong and ask him to bring the whole monkey group. Xiao Shuang, go talk to the mare and see what she needs for the stable. Then draw a design for me. Okay, Master. Bai Ling, come with me. Let's go see Lao Wang next door. Oh. Follow me to the pond. At this moment, the body of the black monster is lying in the corner. Several hideous tentacles have been bitten to pieces. Only an ugly big head is left. Lao Wang next door is lying in the middle of the pool, blood all over his body, exuding violent energy. Lao Wang has really evolved again. Good. Lao Wang, you really didn't let me down. As soon as the words Lao Wang's eyes suddenly burst into a ferocious look. The ferocious mouth instantly came towards me. How dare you, you evil beast, devour your master. The old man next door let out a shrill roar. His pupils that were covered by the murderous intent suddenly cleared up, filled with fear. Lao Wang. I ignored him and whipped him hard with the thunder whip in my hand. Lao Wang next door was electrocuted and his limbs were numb and his eyes were dull. I did it right the first time, and Lao Wang won't dare to do it to himself in the future. Although this method can easily cultivate mutant creatures that kill decisively, its biggest disadvantage is that it is so I must carve fear into the deepest part of Lao Wang's heart. I stopped beating him for 3 minutes. I will punish you by not allowing you to eat for 3 days. The bodies in the pool are placed here. If there is any missing in 3 days, I'll stew you into a nest of turtle soup. After that, I turned around and left with my leg. One person and one cat walked out of the pond and came to the villa compound. Fatty was all ready with a large group of monkeys. Waiting at the gate of the villa, Fatty was snorting on King Kong's neck, as if he was giving a lecture to the monkeys. Press the door switch. Fatty led the monkeys to me. King Kong was the first to bow to me. The monkeys behind him all knelt on one knee, bowed down to me. Get up! These monkeys are primates, and after mutation, they have become more intelligent than ordinary mutants. The last time King Kong came back from my place, he told the monkeys about me riding a ferocious turtle. So King Kong came to me and presented a bulging cloth bag filled with energy crystals in both hands. Respectfully, he lowered his hand to signal. You did a great job. Upon hearing this, King Kong's eyes showed a hint of joy, and he breathed a sigh of relief. Finally got the master's praise. It seems that I will have to hunt zombies and collect energy crystals for the master in the future. Fatty took the bag to the living room. He carried the bag with his little paws and walked into the villa happily.